Air signs, peace and blessings. Welcome back into your elemental reading where we will be looking at the next 7 days ahead for you. We're going to see where your energy is currently and what this energy could be attracting into your reality. Any advice, guidance, messages, insights, things that we may need to know going into this week. We're going to be checking it out. So, all of my Gemini, Libra, Aquariuses, I hope that you're doing amazing whenever this reading finds you. And regardless of where your air sign placements are, whether it's your sun, moon, rising, Venus, maybe you have a stellium, maybe it's your north node, whatever. Maybe you're being called to check out a particular placement. However it is, even if you're just feeling very airy and light today, welcome to your air signs reading. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you come in contact with this reading, it will be for your next week ahead, and it is also a general reading, right? So just keep in mind that everything that I say may not resonate with you, or it may not be your situation, but feel free to check out any of my other elemental placement videos. Yeah, and you can check out your other placements. Yeah, check out your other elementals. And yeah, we're going to get the overall energy with the Moonology. Go in with the tarot to get the main general messages. Any advice or guidance. Any, wow, why can't I talk? I'm like, obviously, you are the last. You are the last ones. If I need any clarification, I will use my other decks for that, and then we'll also get the tea leaves, right? So next 7 days ahead for my air signs. Oh, and I also just did the last round of elemental readings I did were love readings. And this is just going to be a general reading. Whatever comes out, comes out. But the last ones I did were specifically for love. So if you're drawn for that, you could check that out. Those were filmed like in and around the 6/6 portal and also on the 6/9 conjunction. We just had a Venus and Jupiter conjunction yesterday in Cancer, and so all the astrologers are saying this was one of the most beneficial, one of the most positive alignments, right? Cosmically, it was a very romantic period. So I was like, yeah, and I was already feeling that energy for June. So if you're interested in getting a love elemental reading, go ahead and check those out. I also do collective readings at the new moon and the full moon, and those are specifically channeled spreads. So go ahead and check out the full moon in Sagittarius. That was the last reading I did for the collective. And the next new moon will be the new moon in Gemini, which is coming up in about 5 days for me. So make sure you check out that as well. I think once your reading is posted, we will be past that new moon in Gemini energy. So make sure you go check out that collective read. Okay. So may these messages be in your highest and best good. May it align you on your timeline of wish fulfillment and destiny fulfillment, and may these messages be confirming and affirming and assisting to you. Okay, and may I be a clear channel for these messages to come through and bless you. Ashe. Okay, so let's get started with this overall energy for my air signs: Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Oh, and happy birthday, Gemini. Happy birthday, Gemini. Yeah, so let's see the overall energy for the next week ahead, the next 7 days ahead for my air signs. Y'all have 2 cards. Oh, your commitment is being tested and expect powerful change. It's test time, the cosmos says, but things are about to change for you. So you can expect that things are about to be changing. Maybe once you pass this test, communication is key. That new moon in Gemini energy. So that new moon in Gemini can be very significant for you. So make sure, or like I said, this is going to be posted after. So the new moon in Gemini could have been very significant for you. If you're watching this after the fact, like I said, this is a timeless reading. So you can just resonate with it as the last new moon that you had, right? However, or, just drop it if it doesn't resonate. And yeah, so maybe part of the commitment that was being tested was you being able to express yourself, you being able, Grand Rising Sun, you being able to express yourself, have a conversation, right? That could be the thing that was tested. But let's see what the tarot has to say, and we could get a little bit clearer on what this energy is for you, okay? So thank you, Spirit. Can I please have cards for my air signs the next 7 days ahead? What is up for the next 7 days? How many cards is that? Any others? Any other messages? The next 7 days? And we'll take that one. And we'll leave it there. So let's see what cards came out for you. We have the Five of Swords. Oh, yeah. The Devil. Oh, the King of Swords. The Strength. The Page of Pentacles. The Fool. And the Ten of Cups. Ooh, I like that bottom row. But let's get into the first one. Five of Swords energy and this Devil energy. Are you being a little toxic? What's up? Five of Swords, or maybe you're kind of winning out over some type of toxicity. You know what? That could be what it is. With your commitment being tested, something is going to tempt you. Something is going to tempt you. And this is all about kind of like where your power and your strength lies, right? Maybe this is the energy of like, maybe this is the energy of, because you know, the Five of Swords can be a bully sometimes, right? And there's a way that you can win honorably, and there's a way that you can win dishonorably, right? And there is, what's on the bottom of the deck? Six of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Give me a minute. So there's this temptation that you can like do something in a toxic way. Yeah, because I was saying like there's a way that you could win, like because the Five of Swords, so depending on who you're focusing on, right? When you're looking at this Five of Swords energy, but it's a card of wins and losses. It's a card of win and losses, and you see that someone has beat out other people. They've surrendered down their swords. They've accepted their losses, right? And so there's a way that you could win against someone and not like degrade them or disrespect them or cause them unnecessary hurt and pain. And there's also a way that, you know, you could feel like, well, I'm on top and I could do this however I want to do it, and that's how I'm going to do it. Like, forget them, right? So there could be a temptation, like to rub it in their face. There could be a temptation to slide into some type of toxic behavior that is really beneath you, as I'm looking at this King of Swords, right? But also with this King of Swords, I feel like you're able to overcome, because especially with you being tested here, the King of Swords will be an expert test taker, right? Because he is very logical minded, right? He has this Ace of Swords in his hand, the sword of truth. He's able to discern clearly. He knows who he is. He knows his power. He knows the power that he wields, and he also wields it justly. The Five of Swords does not always wield his power justly, right? And even when we get into the Swords energy, like when we look at the story from the Two of Swords up into the court cards of the Swords. Well, let's say the Two of Swords through the Ten of Swords. That's very hard energy to transit through. It's very difficult energy to transit through. Yeah. But once you do, as the King of Swords did, and evolved himself to this level, when he is in the full seat of his power, he's not going to be operating in this Five of Swords energy. So the King of Swords isn't going to take the bait. And so I think with you being in this King of Swords energy, right? And this is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. With you being in your power, with you knowing who you are, with you being able to make the right steps forward, being able to think things through clearly, to be able to perceive bigger pictures, you pass this test. Yeah, because you're going to move with like courage and strength. Your heart is going to be in the right place. And I love that the King of Swords is here with this strength, because these two cards together, it can easily overcome the devil because your heart is in the right place. Like, yeah, and you're able, like, you know your strength. So you can win out on a situation against others without hurting them, without demeaning them, without degrading them, because that is not where your power stems from. Your power doesn't stem from you being able to like step or on others, right? That's not where your power comes from. So I feel with this King of Swords and this strength energy, you do pass this test. And that's why this powerful change is here. And look at this reward. You receive something. You're going to receive something for passing this test. And like whatever this pinnacle is going to represent for you is going to initiate powerful change in your life to where you're going to be having a brand new experience, where you're going to be walking on sunshine, right? Like you're literally going to get blessed from this, because you could have been in that Five of Swords energy. You could have moved in that Devil energy, but you chose not to. You chose to stay true to who you are. You chose to make the right decisions, to move with heart and mind in alignment. And so you're blessed with bliss, success, and happiness, right? This is all beautiful energy. And so this is what's coming in as you pass this test. So this next I almost said Seven of Swords. This next 7 days ahead. For you, you're going to be very aware that you're being tested or something. Like nothing gets past the King of Swords. He's going to pick up on it. So you're going to be able to pick up like, that's that. See, they're trying to get me to go into a lower energy, but I'm in my power. You can't bait me to go into that. You can't tempt me to belittle myself. I've been watching House of the Dragon. So like, like you're not going to act in a way that's not befitting of your station, right? You're a king or a queen here, and you're going to conduct yourself as such. You don't have to go down to someone else's level, right? And with communication is key here, you'll also be able to talk something out, work something out. You don't have to fall. Maybe someone's trying to argue or put you in no. You're going to hold your ground and say like, okay, I see that you can't really have this conversation. It's not really going in a way that will be helpful for either of us. So let's just take a step back here, the strength here. Let's just take a step back here, and maybe we can revisit this when we both feel more grounded and able to discuss this, right? So it's like you maintaining your power like brings in this blessing. Like you're going to be able to clock it. You're going to know that someone is tempting you, that you're being tested to go into old toxic ways that are just not you anymore. You've evolved past that. You're past that now. And you're showing, and the universe could have just been throwing this to see, like, are they really done with this behavior? Are they really done with this energy? Are they really done with this way of being? And I see you're like, yes, I am. And you're going to be able to pass this test easily. And that's when you're just going to literally have this beautiful breakthrough where all these blessings are going to be able to come through, because you showed that you're no longer going into those types of dynamics and ways of being. Wow. So you move forward. I love to see it. Congratulations, air signs, because you're going to pass this test in this next week ahead. Okay, so be aware of this, as I know that you are, because you're showing up as this King of Swords energy. You are in your energy, right? This is air sign energy. So you are in your energy. You are in your power, and no one's going to take that from you. Wow. I am so happy for you. I am so happy for you. I'm like, yeah. I love it. So we're gonna stop it right there and see what the tea leaves are for this next week ahead. For my dear, beautiful, wonderful air signs, air sign gang, gang. Y'all know I'm a Libra sun. Right, right, right. So let's see. Tea leaves for the next 7 days ahead for my air signs. Let's do one more. Two more, I guess they said. Yes, I love to see it. Whoops. Okay, so the next 7 days ahead for my Gemini, Libras, and Aquariuses, bear, danger, especially in money matters. So yeah, somebody's gonna try to bait you, but you're not gonna fall for it. Finger, warning you of a problem either now or in the future. So we see the problem. That's gonna be the test, right? That's gonna be the test. Put that bear on the devil. Chain of events that will affect your life. Yes, because your commitment is being tested, right? So you passing this test, you're going to be given a gift. You're going to be experiencing a new way of freedom, and you're going to be receiving blessing after blessing after blessing. That's the chain of events. You like evolving from this space, passing the test to show that you fully evolved, and so the blessings begin to come in. Okay. Cane, pay attention to your health. Okay, so that could be a message for someone. Mental health could be significant. Rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters. Okay, and that could be part of the temptation that is there, especially with this double energy. Peacock, we have a lot of animals here. Bear, rabbit, peacock, beware of great pride. Yeah. That's that Five of Swords energy. Like you're literally not going to go back into old things. Candle, you will be shown the way. You will be shown the way forward, right? With this Ace of Swords here. Wow. I think this is a great week for you as long as you can just stay in your power, pass the test, move forward, blessings, like expect powerful change, okay? Because you passed this test, so everything changes for the better. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this reading, my dear air signs. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will very much appreciate it as I am currently growing my channel. Make sure you check out some of your other elemental readings. Check out that full moon in Sagittarius reading and the new moon in Gemini reading, which should be up by the time this is posted for you. And yeah, so I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.